Hi guys,
Hi, I'm Andy Smith.
and Jennifer. We're here excited about 4th of July today.
Because today is July 4th. It's a day, and a day to be celebrated. And a lot of times with holidays, we fall into these traditions and patterns. We do the same thing over and over again, tradition of these holidays. And I don't know about you, but me, I tend to forget what it's all about. And I remember as a kid just thinking that the 4th of July is, we celebrate the 4th of July. That's what it is. And I realized later growing up that, well, the July 4th is just a day on the calendar. That's not really, the 4th of July is not what we celebrate. We're celebrating independence, right? It's also called Independence Day. And I'm not much into history, but I did a little reading recently, and just to kind of fresh up my memory and remember what the holiday's all about. And the 4th of July and Independence Day isn't exactly correct either. If you read the history, it's a little bit off. Independence Day. So the 4th of July is the day we celebrate the Declaration of Independence, not the day we gained independence. And I think I just want to tell a little bit about what I learned about this process in our American history, because I think it teaches some really significant lessons that can apply to all of us in our personal lives. And so the colonists were here, and they were struggling to get life going and functioning like they want to. They wanted to grow and prosper, and they felt like they were being held back. They were being bound down by English or British rule, and it wasn't working in America the way it worked when they were over there. And they were trying to get some changes made, and they were getting resistance, and so things weren't happening. And so they got together, and so delegates from representatives from all the colonies, they met and they wrote this document, and they signed it on July 2nd, actually, July 2nd, 1776. We celebrate the 4th because that's the day it went to the printers and when it went public, so everybody knew about it on July 4th. And so we celebrate July 4th as that day of independence. But I think what is really, really interesting about our history is the day we declared our independence is really the day that the things really got tough after that. Things were tough before, but after declaring independence, that's when it really got tough. Because independence was not achieved for about 7 more years as they went through that process of warring. And it was actually about September of 1783 before the British troops finally pulled out, and through a process of over the next year before the whole world began to recognize America as an independent nation. And I think that's really significant to know, because all of us in our personal lives, we struggle. We're not growing, we're not prospering, we're not moving forward like we want to. There's things in our lives, maybe our circumstances around us or in us personally, that we are struggling with to overcome, that are holding us back from progressing. And what I really want to suggest from this story is that we take that first step and we declare our independence. Declare your independence from those things that are holding you back from being truly free. And realize that when you make that declaration, things are going to get tougher. But I think what happened in our American history is that Declaration of Independence was a necessary step. Because when you declare your independence, it inspires you, it motivates you, it empowers you, it helps you remember what you're fighting for. And without that inspiration, without that remembering what you're fighting for, without that empowering feeling of that commitment, you sign your name. I am independent. I'm going to be independent from all those things that hold me back. And whether that's some kinds of addictions, or and we define addiction differently than a lot of people. There's clinical addictions, all of those things that are really tough. But anything that is a pattern in your life, in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your words, the way you speak about things, in your behaviors, that hold you back, that keep you from moving forward and progressing, I consider those addictions. And we need to declare our independence from all of those kinds of things. And so I think if we think about this holiday and the way that it came to be, the way America came to be, there's something really powerful about every individual declaring their own independence from those things that are keeping them from moving forward. Go ahead.
So you mentioned how after signing the Declaration of Independence, then the country went to war, right? And so the other day I was thinking about my parents, and when I was a younger child, and my mom would get kind of upset with my father and probably not talk in a nice tone of voice, and maybe do the cold shoulder thing, right, and ignore him. But he would always say, "Yeah, Ma's on the warpath again." And it just made me think, when we're talking about this Declaration of Independence and the idea of our interaction with other people, it's not that we're out to change them. It's changing ourselves, right? Declaring our independence from the things that are holding us back. And so my dad, he was funny when he would do that, but for my mom, I'm sure she was struggling. There was some real serious things going on in her life, and she was maybe upset with my father and was on the warpath, right? So how do we go from reacting to things in our lives, being on the warpath, and learning to switch to the peace path? Let's get to the peace path a lot sooner, because are we happy when we're on the warpath? And it was interesting, I looked up the definition of warpath, and the first definition was angry and ready for confrontation, like you're ready to fight. And so how do we go from that? Well, part of that, declaring our independence from those things that are holding back, that are dragging us down, and it affects our relationships with other people, so that we can't walk on that peace path so gracefully and so easily. And darn it, it takes working on ourselves to get off that war path and come over to the peace path.
For sure. And us as relationship coaches, the last thing that we want to promote is the idea that the people in your life are the things you want to declare independence from and get away from them.
Just leave your spouse.
That's not it. Because the things that are causing the problems in the relationship, it's not the people themselves. It's the things within us that bring up the contention, that bring up the disagreements, that bring up all those things that make you feel like you're warring against each other and you want to have independence from each other. That's not what we're promoting. We're promoting finding those things that are causing that and war against those things, not against each other. And it's interesting that it seems like the path to peace is always preceded by a war path. And
we're not saying those of you with teenagers to disown them neither. You got to stick with it.
So this is a great holiday to think about your independence. Independence from all those things that hold you back, that keep you from being totally free, that keep you from being who you want to be. And as peace seems to be preceded by war, and sometimes to gain peace, you have to go to war against those things that are keeping you from peace. And that's what this holiday is about, that we can also commemorate and celebrate and salute. And I'm not in uniform, and I don't know if it's proper. Maybe this is better.
Yes.
But I honor and salute all those everywhere, past, present, and future, who risked their lives and give their lives for our independence. So, some things to think about.
So declare your own independence.
The lessons from our history, how we can grow personally and gain our independence from things that are holding us back. So maybe that's a challenge. Think about it. Write down your declaration of independence and sign your name to it and see how powerful you get. But no, it's going to get tough. To gain your independence is not an easy fight to win. But when you commit to it, you sign your name, you will be empowered and you will win.
And you learn how to get off the warpath and on
the path of peace.
You
know what I mean.
Okay, have a great day. Catch y'all later.
Enjoy your holiday.
Bye.